Sean, and I am currently a junior at Frisco High School. I'm the youngest of three. My brother Derek is 18 in college. My sister Gloria is 27, married with a family, and I'm 17. I have a rescued Shih Tzu named Prince and a cat who wears a cape. From a young age, I learned the importance of keeping organized, being that I've switched between my mom's and dad's houses nearly every weekend since I was 3. Ever since I was young, everyone always knew me as the helper. I was always willing to work to be part of something, from attempting to sweep up crumbs when it was always a struggle to reach the top of the broom, to always wanting to be a baker for any occasion, and even to the excitement of climbing up on my dad's roof to brush off fallen leaves. You name it, I was there. This passion for everything I do has followed me throughout my whole life. I may not find the same excitement in folding laundry or walking the dogs as I did when I was 7, but I now see that I do not only join an activity to be a part of it, but I want to make a contribution. Although attempting to balance friendships, family, an advanced academic schedule, student council, Health Occupation Students of America, National Honor Society, and band is certainly not an easy task. When it comes to the big picture, I do not see these activities and groups as a burden. The way I view it is that each of these activities is a positive addition to the growth of my character, shaping me to be more prepared for what lies ahead. Speaking of my future, my current goal is to attend Texas A&M University, majoring in the field of biomedical engineering, while taking pre-medical courses during the same time. That way, I will have a better idea of what field of healthcare exactly I wish to work in. One may ask how a teenager came across the idea of biomedical engineering. Well, I was first introduced to this topic by my older sister who majored in the field in college. However, I was about 9 at the time, so I didn't really understand the full concept of it. Later, during my freshman year in high school, my pre-AP biology teacher chose a few students to tag along with her AP students for a field trip to a genetics conference given by a professor. I entered this conference believing that I was on the track for some sort of architecture or engineering program. However, once hearing about all the headway that there is to be made in the medical field, I became interested in learning what I could do to make an imprint in biology. During the next few weeks, where I was glued to my 23-page packet of notes, I began researching occupations and research that involved both the advancements of technology and biology that I was previously interested in. I was brought back to biomedical engineering. I learned that biomedical engineering encompasses so many possibilities for saving a person's life, including prosthetics, mechanical hearts, tissue engineering, and seizure monitors. Most of those are above. There's the mechanical heart, and it's being implanted right there. And the middle is actually a monitor for people that have seizures, and it goes like within their chest area, and it monitors their seizures, and that's what my sister works on, and she's a biomedical engineer. And then there's prosthetic arm, and then other things include tissue engineering with nerve cells and so on. And so once I became completely engrossed in desiring to learn more about some or all of these advancements, I came across the Independent Study and Mentorship Program after seeing Bree Heath, a fellow flute player, carrying around a prosthetic leg at the end of my sophomore year. I was in awe and was not shy to march up to her and ask her what kind of class could she possibly have created this in. We talked about the class, and by the time she saw my eyes light up with the possibility of having an experience as amazing as hers, Bree was quick to drag me to Coach Goff's room. For this, I was nervous that I would feel out of place. But once I stepped into the room and shook hands with Coach Goff, there was a feeling that told me I was in a safe place and a sense of seeing what a great opportunity laid before me. Without delay, I jumped into the class to see what it was all about. Oprah Winfrey once said, "The key to realizing a dream is to focus not on success, but significance. And then even the small steps and little victories along your path will take on greater meaning." This quote hits home to me because I have struggled in the past with fearing failure. Honestly, I still do. However, one of my main goals through ISM this year is that I will overcome this fear so that I can get to a place where my courage is strong, even when not everything goes as planned. My overall mission in ISM is to enhance my knowledge and passion for the field of biomedical engineering. With the supportive mentor guiding me, I will develop a capacity to perform satisfactorily under pressure with confidence in the real working world, as well as in creating an original product that will exemplify my understanding of my topic. So, what exactly is biomedical engineering? According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, biomedical engineers analyze and design solutions to problems in biology and medicine with the goal of improving the quality and effectiveness of patient care. Seeing this, I believe that I would fit in well in this field with my personality of being able to work well with others, as well as my desire to assist and help people in their lives. Once I saw that in this rapidly growing field, professionals also become workers in the healthcare field, such as surgeons or doctors. After creating a more developed background for myself, I looked into various inventions and challenges that could possibly pertain to myself one day. One challenge of the world today is to discover how the human brain works. Once that's done, there are so many different designs and technology things that can be done in order to enhance human living. So, for example, if we discovered how the brain exactly is wired and how the brain works, there could be better cochlear implants, and there could be and just a lot of things. It can also assist us with prosthetics and medicine and so much. It can even with computers, because if we know how the brain works, we can make a computer as great as the brain. And then also I looked at more on the tissue engineering side. There are polymers that, a lot of times doctors are looking at inserting types of doctors are looking at inserting cells that into people's spines to help them when their cells are dying or they just need healthy ones. So doctors will repair those cells and are looking at implanting them in patients. But the process of this, a lot of times the cells get broken along the way or just destroyed. So I read an article that said that if you surround the cells in polymers and then insert them, they're more likely to stay into the place where they're put and not get damaged. Along with this, it's mainly in the spine, so along with that, I started looking more into the nervous system. So I saw that there were also nerve grafts for long gap peripheral nerve reconstruction. And what that means is that if someone has a damaged nerve, you can either get an implant from another person or from another part of your body. So what this is talking about is taking a nerve stent from yourself and then putting that in your arm, for example, from your leg. And then different ways of that working. And then tissue engineering a heart is totally different from the other things that I was looking at. And the reason why I came to this topic was because I had been participating in my interviews, and I'll get back to that one in a minute. So Dr. Chang was my first interview, and he is actually a plastic surgeon, because it's very difficult to find working professionals that are only a biomedical engineer. A lot of them work in other fields. So he is a reconstructive plastic surgeon, and a lot of times he'll work on repairing nerve cells and attaching a finger or limb or whatever someone needs them to do. And I was able to speak to him about some of the articles that I read, and it was really insightful. And he gave me the advice to always challenge myself with whatever I choose to do, even if it doesn't end up being biomedical engineering. So then I went to my next interview, and this was Dr. Matthew Merritt. And he is a professor for magnetic resistance and imaging. When I got there, he allowed me to go into 2 of his labs and look at all of his work with all the different spectrometers in order to see what the heart metabolizes and how tumors metabolize things to become bigger, and how they break down things. What are they trying to break down? And it was really interesting to see his mind working, even though tumors necessarily didn't evoke my sense of passion as much. And he also recommended that you surround yourself with positive peer pressure, whether you're doing medical field or not. It's best to have people around you that are going the right direction, that are going to help lead you there. My next interview was with Dr. Madhuranthakam, and he is an assistant professor, and he does the same type of work that I was talking about with Dr. Merritt. Instead of working with just the metabolism of the heart and tumors, he works with trying to reduce those tumors instead of finding out what caused them. And so he does that with different lasers and spectrometers. And then my fourth interview was Dr. Katadoo, and he is a urology and radiology professor and a surgeon. He actually had a background in biomedical engineering in college, and then he realized that he wanted to be in the medical field. And after interviewing with him, I really realized I can do the medical field too. I don't have to just be a biomedical engineer. I could be putting these devices in people. I could be a surgeon. And that leads me to Dr. Nugent, and he is the director of cardiac catheterization and associate professor at UT Southwestern. And he does a lot of lab work with biodegradable stents for structural heart disease. And that's really interesting to me, because right now they just have metal stents that go in people for when their heart is damaged, or some people are born with it. He works with pediatrics, so a lot of the kids are born with the missing part of their heart, and so they'll have to take a metal and put it in there to try to fix it. But of course the kids grow, and so it doesn't grow with them, so they have to keep having surgeries, and usually the longest metal stent is only 8 millimeters. So children usually live till they're only 22 if they have this disease. So his work with making a biodegradable stent is really amazing, and I would truly love to learn more from him, and I'm glad I will be able to, because I've chosen to have him as my mentor, and he's great.